Hey guys, welcome to another video. Third week of October, coming down on the final stretch of the end of the year, giving you a couple of my powerlifting movements I did this week. Kept it the same for the most part when it comes to squats, deadlifts, and bench. Still working my way up. The next video, I'll be starting to move up a little bit more on the weights. For the most part, you've just been seeing me do 275s, 275 for squats, or 225. But I'm going to be starting incorporating more different variations as far as triplets, doubles, maybe do some fives as well, just to switch it up and try to get some progress that way. Right here I'm doing 3 singles for 275 and it felt good. Honestly, the weight went up pretty quickly, faster than I thought it would be. Just give you a little bit of gear update. You guys haven't noticed, I do use a belt, powerlifting belt. I definitely recommend that if you're doing squats. It helps strengthen your core, keeps your core intact, so you can lift through all the movements, keep your back straight, your body balanced, make sure you have good form. I'm also using knee sleeves. Obviously this is different types, I'm not gonna get into that, but I do use knee sleeves as well. And I like to use, when it comes to squats or deadlift, I like to use sneakers that have a thick outsole. They're not powerlifting shoes. I can't say anything about powerlifting shoes. I definitely want to get some, but I can't give you my experience with it. But of course, I would rather have powerlifting shoes. But if I don't have powerlifting shoes, which I don't, I just use shoes that have thick outsole and are stable. Not so much comfort. It's just about making sure they're stable enough for me to get the lift off. Here's another day. I think this was Wednesday. I do squats 3 times a week and bench 3 times a week. Deadlifts I do twice a week because that's, like I said, that's one of my strong points, so I don't feel like I have to need to work on that as much. So I'm trying to make my weaknesses my strengths and make my strength stronger. The first few squats were Monday. This is Wednesday. Try and get my balance. My number one tip would be, when it comes to squats, obviously the form. You want to make sure your body is balanced all the way through the lift. You don't want to be leaning forward or leaning back. You want to keep it straight. And until you can do that comfortably, don't think about lifting, adding more weight and try to go heavy. Until you can comfortably do, and it doesn't matter what kind of weight it is. It can be 25 on each side, 10 on each side, as long as you make sure the form is correct. So that you're 100% balanced from the start of the work of the lift to the finish, even when you're unracking. That's my number one tip. Don't rush it. Don't rush the process. Just make sure, focus on the form. Make sure that your knees are bent. You're bringing your butt down all the way until it reaches 90-degree angle, and your feet are shoulder width apart, and bar in your back. And now there's different arguments between high bar and low bar. I can say that definitely high bar is the one that I have most experience with. However, transitioning into low bar now, I've been doing low bar for a few months now. I can definitely say low bar is not as bad as you would think. It does take a little bit of time to get used to. I definitely had a little bit of a drop off in my strength when I switched over, but once you can move past that, then it becomes easier. But again, everyone's different. Just, of course, like I always tell you guys, just find what works best for you and stick to that. And for a long time, high bar was working good for me, but I want to try something out new and see if it can work better. And so far it has. For powerlifting, when you're using a belt, you want to keep that positioned right above your belly button. So you want it to cover your belly button and make sure that the thick part is on your back. That's how you use a powerlifting belt. Nobody told me that when I first started lifting. So until somebody told me, like after a month of me lifting, using it the wrong way. Save you guys some headaches there. Here I'm doing some bench, pause reps, 2 singles. This is the first singles I did. Felt good. The bar path is always going to be a little bit. You always want, when you bring down the weight, you want to bring it towards your chest. Obviously towards your chest, but like towards your upper abdominals, like right around where your nipple area is. That's where you want to bring your chest down. And when you push off, you want to push up and almost towards your chin a little bit. You want to keep your elbows close to your body, but not too close, but definitely not too far wide, because that's when you get shoulder injuries. But you also want to put too close, because then you're just relying on your triceps and you're not really using your chest, and that's a lot harder. You gotta find that sweet point. I want to say like a 45-degree angle. If your arms are 0 degrees, if your arms by your head is 0 degrees, and your arms by your sides is 90 degrees, it's like 45. It's in the middle. And so that's like the sweet spot. Of course, the more you do it, the easier it's gonna be. It's just gonna take practice, a little bit of time. But those are the two things that I would suggest for you when you're starting benching. Just bring it towards your nipple area and push it up, but also a little bit towards your chest. Towards your chin. Here, finishing off, of course, as always, with deadlifts. I always like to warm up with just a bar, of course. And guys, for everything, I don't record this because I don't feel like it's necessary. But just so you guys know, for every squat, bench, deadlift, I always warm up with the bar. Just the bar by itself, no weights. Because I want to get my muscles warmed up for the actual lift and before I start lifting heavy. So I always do 10, 12 reps with just the bar. And then I move on depending on the lift. But for the most part, I always add a 45 right after that. And then I keep on progressing. So in that first clip I did, it was a warm up. It was after I had already warmed up with 45 on each side, then 2 on each side. And then I warmed up again with 3 on each side for a single. So I'll warm up with 10 on each side, or 10 to 12 on with no bar, 10 to 12 reps with no bar. And then I add a plate on each side. I'll do like 5 or 6 reps. Then I add 2 plates. I'll maybe do 1 or 2. And I add 3 plates. And then from then on, I just do singles, unless my program tells me otherwise. The other 2 videos, so I did 2 singles for 405. Here I'm just doing my warm down set, if you want to call it. After that, I just brought it down to 315, 3 plates and 25 on each side. And then here's some accessory workouts for triceps. Here I'm doing tricep bar pull downs. I always do about 3 sets of 8 to 12 or 10 to 12. 3 sets of 10 to 12 for tricep, any tricep exercise. The first one was the bar. This is another variation of it with the rope. Both work equally as well. It's just whatever works best for you, whatever you're more comfortable with. That's going to be the exercise I would recommend. I appreciate you guys. Thank you for watching. In the next video, I'm going to be changing it up a little bit and adding different exercises. I'm going to do more triples, a little bit more reps that you're accustomed to seeing. So stay tuned, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and let me know what other kind of exercise you want to see in the future videos that I post. All right, guys.